Hello, Jen here with day 5 of Christy's 30 Days of Sketches round 6. So Christy is doing another 30 days of sketches. She does this a few times a year, and she's being joined by Moira and Crystal from Pineapple Papers, who are also going to do all 30 days. And then there's a whole bunch of other scrapbookers who are hopping in whenever they can. So everyone's doing a different amount. I think there might be a few that are attempting to do all 30 days as well, but definitely you're going to see some names coming in here and there doing 1 or 2 days. I'm hoping to do maybe 5, so this is obviously day 5, so I've been able to do 1 through 5, which is a record for me to do 5 consistent days, and I think I might take a couple days off, and then I'm going to hop back in and try to do another 5 days. So I'm not going to get all 30 days done, but I think I might be able to get a good chunk of days done. So I'm pretty excited about that. The sketches for this round are so great, and I've been having a ton of fun. So definitely go and check out the link down below to the playlist. I also will have Christy's links and Crystal and Moira's, but the playlist is, I think, going to be updated regularly, so it's a good place to go if you want to follow along with all 30 days. You can just use that playlist to kind of see who's playing along and jump into all the different videos. So there's lots and lots there to choose from. So for today, I decided to stick pretty closely to the sketch. I've kind of been doing that all the way along as much as I could, but I'm just going to put my own little twists on it. So the sketch is what I showed you at the beginning of the video, and so you can see I'm working with the circle that's in it, and that I just created with some Dilutions paint in teal. I just took my palette knife, dipped it into the paint, and kind of just kept going around until I felt like it looked really nice and circular, didn't look too wonky, and kind of had some nice coverage and nice thickness. I really like the texture, so I like kind of having some of the paint a little bit thicker and some of it scraped off in places, or, you know, kind of rough around some of the edges. I really like that. That's why I use a palette knife. If you wanted to have something that was a little bit more clean and precise, you could use a paintbrush or trace a circle and use markers or something like that. I also thought that at one point when I was letting the paint dry that I might run it through my sewing machine, but my sewing machine isn't working very well, and I have sewn through paint before and there wasn't any problems with it, but I think I need to get my machine serviced before I use it again, so I didn't do that. I probably could have hand sewn as well or hand stitched, and that would have looked really good too, but I didn't. So that's just another idea for how you could create that circle if you wanted to do that instead. And then I have the flowers from the sketch as well, and they're kind of going in the same general spot. I'm not going to run mine straight down the way that the sketch has it. I'm going to curve my flowers around the circle. And that's mostly just because I didn't have a ton of flowers in the colors that I wanted. I was really kind of trying to stay with the pinks and the teals, and I've added these little white flowers in there, and I didn't really have other ones in those colors, so I didn't run it down the side. I kind of put them around the circle, and then that way they kind of look a little fuller, I guess you could say. I also decided to only go with a single photo instead of what is in the sketch. So I think in the sketch you could either take that as a photo and then maybe some layers of pattern paper behind it, or cardstock or whatever you wanted, or you could have multiple photos kind of layered together if that's how you wanted to interpret it. I think that would look really cool too, but I just went for that single photo and then lots of flower layers, as many as I could find. And I also pulled out some butterflies to kind of fill in some of those gaps, because I knew I had butterflies that were in the kind of blues and greens that I was going for. So the flowers come from Dollar Tree in like a die cut pack that has some really pretty, almost kind of rose gold foiling on it. And then the butterflies come from a die cut pack from Dollarama, believe it or not. I actually did a haul and I showed you guys these die cut packs that I got, and then I put them up in the little basket that's above me, and every month I say to myself, I'm gonna use these. I've got them right in front of me, I can see them, I kind of consider them to be part of my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit every month, and then I just wasn't using them. So this sketch was definitely a good motivation to pull them out and use them. And I got two big ones you can see there. I had a big teal one and a big pink one. And I kind of pulled my colors from the photo a little bit. Kaylin has these Mylar balloons, and one is that bright pink, and then two of them are a blue, and there is actually kind of a minty teal one in behind. And I don't have a lot of embellishment in that blue color that you see in the picture, or I probably would have gone with pink and blue instead of the pink and teal, but I know I have a lot of teal, so I figured I could probably find a lot more embellishments that would work with pink and teal, and that's why I went with that. Even just watching as I'm going through all of these different florals, you can see that there isn't any blue in them, and I don't have many other florals right now. I've used them all up. They're definitely something that is a really easy element to use, so I feel like I get them used up quite quickly when I have them in die cut packs and that kind of thing. So I might have to invest in a few more. And I do have some really pretty floral stamps that I could have used and just created my own flowers, but I just didn't have the time to invest for this particular layout, but I have done it before in a few different ways. I've stamped out flowers and then colored them in. I have mixed media'd paper and then stamped the flowers over top and cut them out. Or just stamping directly onto pattern paper and cutting it out. So I really do enjoy doing that kind of stuff, but I thought this would be really fun to get some of these big flowers in there. So I went through that pack and I pulled a few out, and then I put a couple of little butterflies in there too to kind of fill in some of the gaps. And then I also had another pack that was more tropical flowers, but I found a few of those that I could put in too, and one's kind of in that white color. The other one I just put down up at the top is more pink, and that just kind of gave a little bit more bulk and just made that floral embellishment look a little bit fuller. And then I'm adding a few extra little bits and pieces of things in there just to fill in some of those spaces. So I have some little hearts, and I have some little word phrases from Tim Holtz, and I have a couple just little pops of a brighter pink because the balloon is actually a quite bright pink, but the big flower that I chose is more of kind of like a dusty rose color, so I just wanted a couple pops of a brighter pink in there too. And then I backed my photo on some black cardstock and then punched out a couple of little hearts in that same black cardstock so that I could go ahead and scatter a little bit of black around because I plan on backing this with some black cardstock. So I really kind of like that pop that the black gives to the pink and the teal. And I also decided to go ahead and put a little embellishment cluster up in the top portion of the circle too. That's not really part of the sketch, but I figured because I was leaving out some of the layers behind the photo, I would go ahead and add just a little bit of interest up there. So I tried to pick elements from the rest of the cluster, the kind of floral cluster, to add there. So there's a little flower and a butterfly and some black and pink from the little planner sticker sheet that I have, and some hearts and things like that. So all of those elements kind of came together in a smaller scale up in that little section of the circle. And now for the title. On these foam sticker sheets that I have, or foam word sheets that I have, is the word celebrate, so that works out really good. It was my daughter's birthday, so we were definitely celebrating. And I thought I might actually add a bit of a longer title because I didn't have a lot of journaling to add, but I ended up just sticking with celebrate. And then I found some little pink alpha stickers to spell out the word let. So it says let's celebrate, and I'm just going to kind of leave it like that. Next, I just cut my layout on 3 sides to go ahead and back it with that black cardstock. That's just some basil textured cardstock, and I kind of left it slightly skewed to the left so you can see how there's a border only on 3 sides of the layout, because that circle in the sketch is slightly to the left and the big embellishment of flowers is all kind of on the left. So I really wanted to emphasize that by only having the black showing on the right side and the top and bottom. And then now I just get to put all the pretty little finishing touches. So I added a little bit of embroidery floss right to that right hand side of the photo where the E in celebrate kind of went off the photo. It just was a bit of an awkward space there, so that embroidery floss filled that in. And then I added some enamel dots and some sequins, and that's it. That's my layout. I think this turned out so lovely. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, those links are all down below, so you can go and find Christy and Moira and Crystal's layouts for today, as well as the playlist for everybody who's been playing along since round 6 started. And until next time, happy scrapping. Bye.